But a lot of people don't have personal practices. They don't have a daily practice. It's new to them. And, I think like that's a big hurdle. Like when you can remember, right, when you first started, what a challenge it was to start practicing.
Yeah.
And then, you start practicing and then it's like, well, I can do it kind of a few days and then maybe more days. Eventually it's every day. And then you want to practice, but there is a challenge in getting your mind and your whole life oriented towards practicing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's very interesting to see that in ourselves and also we see in our students.
Yeah. Now I'm going to push back on that a little bit and say, I think we have a lot of daily practices that we don't think about as daily practices. You're
Interesting.
talking about the practices that relate to energy and
Okay.
cultivation, self-cultivation.
Yes,
But
I
of
am.
course, we get up every day and brush our teeth, and hopefully we floss every day at least, we brush our teeth at least once, we floss, we take showers. So we know sort of this idea of self-care. We sort of feel like, well, I am, we are connected to that. We have a relationship to
Yes,
that. And we wouldn't think of going a day without doing some of those things.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. So how can we do those? We buy into that.
Exactly, exactly. When we think about the practices as we're describing them, sometimes we think about adding on something new and we say, oh my gosh, I can't do one more thing. I don't have time. How am I going to find 20 minutes? How am I going to find 5 minutes? And I love the way in class you help to let people dip into practice slowly and really begin to experience the energy that happens when we're practicing qigong. And as our energy builds, we suddenly find that we are drawn to it because our bodies kind of start to crave it. And also that we are actually, because we're creating more energy, we're not creating more energy, but we're experiencing more energy in
Yes.
ourselves, and we are creating and opening up new relationships, right? New energetic relationships in our bodies. And that's when the practice starts to become more easy and more something that we really start to look forward to, just like flossing and brushing our teeth.
Yeah, I think that's right. When people start to come to class and they start practicing, even when they don't practice, and we've talked about this, I think already, this sort of remarkable thing that happens because you join the practice. So something starts happening even if you're not practicing that much. And a lot of times just this, you know, opening to the possibilities of new chi and building your chi and your chi foundation and all that, things start happening that are so mysterious and interesting. Actually, there's more immediate benefit in doing qigong than there is in flossing. I mean, dentists have to tell you like floss because 50 years later you won't have gum disease.
So
I mean,
what
really, it's a really long-term practice.
it's
But you
true.
start doing qigong and you might have benefits that day, that week.
Wow, that's right. And energetically, what's happening as our practice is starting to build?
Yeah.
What does that look like to you on a daily basis? I mean, you've been doing this for how long, Larry?
Well, this I've been doing qigong over 20 years now.
Right. So
So, and
you're really in the long term, you're really in a
care.
long,
I'm in long-term care.
that's right. So what is
Oh, sorry,
going,
long-term self-care.
yeah, that's right. That's right. But so how is that 20 years later? I know you're still making a lot of new discoveries, and
Yeah.
what's happening with your relationships and your,
Yeah, I think sometimes it's just about fundamentals, like if you're doing similar practice, like, we teach the Dragon's Way. So we do those movements all the time
yeah,
for years now. And, I'm sort of amazed sometimes at how difficult they are. Or not difficult, but there's sort of layers of how your body can move. You want to see like, how smooth can I make this movement? Or how much can I feel say the difference between one side and another side? Let's say, if you're doing a movement where you're standing on one leg and the other leg is moving, like there's a standing leg and there's a moving leg. And how different is that? Well, how's that feel? And what's the balance like? And there's just all these different aspects of your inner experience, trying to experience it internally that are interesting.
Right.
And then it's also you do it and then watch what happens. But for me, honestly, right now, the biggest challenge has been taking the actual physical practice, the, whatever amount of time we're doing the practice, and seeing how I can apply that to my life.
Yeah.
That's really, I find that an interesting and worthwhile challenge. Like in my life, can I find that kind of balance? Or can I, be able to have a certain kind of flexibility, and when I don't have it, it's really sort of startling to me. Like, how come? Why am I not flexible in the way I'd like to be at this situation right now?
Mhm.
And that's, that to me, that has there's a lot of pretty much endless possibilities of application there. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
inside, outside, with nature, there's a lot of different things to notice.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that idea that like on a day, one day you feel you've got your feet under you, and then and your left right balance, your up down balance, you're really feeling that. And maybe
Yeah,
a few days later, you're just completely knocked out.
so weird.
And then you can look out in your life and say, oh yeah, this is a picture of this relationship, this event is happening, or these thoughts that I'm spinning around, or whatever it might be. Yeah,
Yeah,
it can really, really show up in that physical energy expression.
yeah. We all have that. We all have the shifts that, your body, you think you're stable and you think it's going to last, but nothing lasts. And then you have to adjust. And
Right.
I find that really, really interesting. And then also right now, with the seasons, this fall is such a profound season with the change is so dramatic. And, we're just wind blows and leaves are flying everywhere and the trees are letting go. And, and sometimes don't you just stop and look at it. It's like, and it's so great. I mean, it's not a loss. The trees are busy, you know, shifting into the earth and putting their energy into the ground and, getting ready to collect from the relationship to the earth. And we can do the same. So can I do the same? I really stand there, with a tree and I wonder, can I do this? Can I make this shift? Go more internal, get quieter, get ready to be quieter in winter. Will I?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all full of, wonder.
Really beautiful. Actually, you just made me think about how deeply rooted trees are, because
Yeah.
I wonder about the weight of all those leaves, like just coming off. That's got to really change your sense of physical balance, right? Suddenly you're just like stripped bare.
Yeah, thousands and one tree has, thousands and thousands and thousands of leaves. You're right.
So
And it's so
fun.
graceful,
So fun. So
Yeah,
fun.
really interesting. Yeah. And practice is yeah, it's like allowing yourself to have these moments of sort of inquiry and curiosity,
Right.
rather than like I don't really think about results usually. Although sometimes if I have a thing going on, you have some kind of new symptom of pain or something coming on, you think I like to do my practice and see if I can get rid of this. But that's usually a pretty narrow way of practice. I mean, it will usually go away.
Yeah.
But not always. And then, it's still more, I like just the curiosity and a little bit of playfulness too
Yes,
in
for sure.
practice,
Sure.
like, don't be so serious about it.
Right.
Me not be serious?
And of course, the beauty of practice is that you don't want to wait for your gum disease to start before you start flossing, right?
Yeah,
You've got to be if you wait till you have gum disease, you're too late, babe. You should have been flossing years ago. So you got to get some of these energy if you really are interested in finding what it feels like to have this great level of energy for all kinds of uses. I'm bouncing up and down on my bed. I can see because I'm so excited, but it's true.
yeah,
This
it's good.
practice allows us to strip away that tartar on our inner plaque, strip it all
Right.
away
Yeah,
before we have to experience
hopefully.
discomfort, before we have to just to experience the conditions. Get that energy prepared for the time that we really are going to need it the most.
Yeah, that's right. It's beautiful. Why we do it.
All right, my dear. Well,
Nice.
thank you for this beautiful 10 minutes.
Thank you as well, and enjoy the rest of your, drive going through, eye-opening countryside, or maybe
Yeah.
it'll be raining.
I'm,
But it's interesting
of
too.
course it's raining, but we've had some great weather. I'm gonna put some pictures up on our Budding Spring Facebook page so you all can
Good.
see. The Midwest is not boring. It's
No,
like
no,
where
no.
everything's happening. It's the center. It's right the center of the universe.
That's right.
So, all right.
All right,
See you
good.
soon.
Enjoy it. Have a good day,
Okay.
everybody.
See you soon.
Yeah,
Have a
bye,
good
Jenny.
day. Right. Bye-bye.